Urban biodiversity refers to the variety of living organisms, including their genetic variations, as well as the multiplicity of habitats in and around dense human settlements. It is the variety and abundance of life in a city. It is most commonly and simply measured in terms of ecosystem types and extents. For example, lakes, grasslands, wetlands, and forests, and in terms of the types and abundances of plants and animal species within them. Just as the equilibrium of our planet depends on a healthy biosphere, the resilience of city requires ecologically resilient urban biodiversity. So, why is urban biodiversity important? Firstly, biodiversity provides us with the goods we eat. Secondly, many of our medicines originate from plants and fungi. Thirdly, trees and shrubs protect our homes from flooding, and coral reefs plus mangroves shield our coastlines from storm surge. Everyone is talking about climate change, but what is climate change? When we use fuel like oil and gasoline or remove forests to make room for cities, we release greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. These greenhouse gases cause our climate to get warmer. It usually takes hundreds or thousands of years for the climate to change. But recently, our climate has been changing much faster. It is one of the greatest threats facing our planet. All these changes make life harder for our plants, animals, and for people around the world. And the biggest cause of climate change is humans, including you and me. Hopefully, we can slow down or stop our climate from continuing to change. We need to learn how to adapt to them. But most of the changes cannot be undone. Climate change adaptation is all the ways we adapt or change how we do things to make it easier and safer to live with our changing climate. It means taking action to prepare for and adjust to both the current effects of climate change and the predicted impacts in the future. The goal is to reduce our risk from the harmful effects of climate change, like sea level rise or more intense extreme weather events. It also includes making the most of any potential beneficial opportunities associated with climate change. For example, longer growing seasons. There are two examples of climate change adaptation that I'm going to talk about: flood control and green roofs. Flood control methods are used to reduce the effects of floodwaters or high water levels. Flooding can be caused by a mix of both natural processes, such as heat waves and tornadoes. A green roof system atop a building helps manage stormwater and reduces energy costs for cooling. Green roofs are covered with growing media and vegetation that enable rainfall infiltration and evapotranspiration of stored water. Adaptation can be grouped into four categories. The first one is infrastructural and technological adaptation, including engineering, built environment, and high-tech solutions. Secondly, institutional adaptation, including economic organizations, laws and regulation. Government policies and programs. Thirdly, behavioral and cultural, including individual and household strategies as well as social and community approaches. Lastly, nature-based solutions, including ecosystem-based adaptations. The roles of climate change adaptation are to reduce risk and vulnerability to climate change, strengthen resilience, enhance citizen well-being, as well as reducing flood and drought risk, and absorb greenhouse gas emissions. The key characteristics for climate adaptation policies are institutional flexibility, adaptive nature, scalability, and reflexivity. Climate change adaptation is important. Firstly, for climate stabilization, ecosystem protection management and carbon sequestration strategies help slow the current rate of climate changing. Secondly, elimination of traffic noise. Plans reduce traffic noise levels. Thirdly, minimize the risk of extreme events. Several ways of adaptation can help mitigate extreme events such as droughts, fires, and floods. Lastly, improvement of air quality. Due to the intense use of fossil fuels in automotive vehicles, air quality is a challenge in many cities. Climate change adaptation projects can help improve air quality. The city I'm going to talk about is London. London is the largest urban area and capital city of the United Kingdom. It is located at the Southeast Asia of Great Britain. London features a temperate oceanic climate. This gives the city cool winters and warm summers with precipitation evenly distributed all year around. The building Big Ben is perhaps most synonymous with London. It was built in 1859 by the renowned architect Augustus Pugin. The London region covers an area of 1,579 square kilometers and has a population of 96,048,000 in 2023. The River Thames is the main river of London. London is vulnerable to flooding by storm surge, and the threat has increased over time due to slow but continuous rise in high water level, caused by the gradual rise in sea levels due to climate change. The UK's Thames Barrier is an iconic example. By holding back storm surges and high tides, it helps protect people, infrastructure, and places of high historical and cultural value from flooding. Conservation management done by the cities to make more efficient use of materials, to recycle materials and energy that are vital to human survival, to restore derelict land, and to maintain the capacity of ecosystems. The environmental impact of climate change is increased drought. Climate change is changing water availability, making it scarcer in more regions. Deserts are expanding. Many people are now facing the threat of not having enough water on a regular basis. Secondly, a warming and rising ocean. The ocean absorbs most of the heat from global warming. As the ocean warms, its volume increases since water expands as it gets warmer. Melting ice sheets also cause sea levels to rise. Thirdly, loss of species. Climate change causes risk to the survival of species on land and in the ocean. Increased by climate change, the world is losing species at a rate 1,000 times greater than at any other time in recorded human history. What we can do is to reduce, reuse, repair, and recycle. Electronics, clothes, and other items we buy cause carbon emissions at each point in production. Secondly, change our home source of energy. Switch to renewable sources such as wind or solar. Thirdly, increase water storage capacity. Methods for accomplishing this way may include raising a dam and practicing aquifer storage and recovery. And that will be the end to my video. Thanks for watching.